Welcome all. I'm Matt Farris, a ministerial intern here at the UU Asheville. Assisting me today as worship associate is Erin Shadle. On tech, we have Simon Jacobs, and Graham is around here somewhere. Graham, thank you for your help. Jenna Jaffe will be providing us with music today. Thank you, Jenna. And thanks as always to the ushers, the folks who provide the coffee and treats, our faith formation gurus, and everyone else in the beloved community who's contributing this morning to our flourishing as a congregation. It's my genuine pleasure and honor to serve you today. This is the space. This is the place of beloved community. For those of you online, you too are beloved community, and you are with us. Our shared UU values remind us that love is at the center of our lives. No matter who you are, no matter where you come from, no matter how you identify, no matter whom you love, you are truly welcome in this place. Let us all open our hearts to the spirits of love, the whole, and the divine as we practice beloved community today. And now, let us receive the gift of our opening music from Jenna.
I would like to ask Gabriel to bring his dad, John, up to light the chalice for us this morning. And I'd like to invite Maple to come up as well, please. Come on up. All right, Gabriel. Good job. Good job. We also light the community candle this morning in honor of both heartbreaking events, both locally, not Asheville, but within our country and abroad, and also with joyful energy that was seen yesterday when millions of people nationwide came out to support democracy. Many varied emotions. That's right. We light this chalice, a symbol of Unitarian Universalism, with the words of Katie Romano Griffin. Come, let us enter this space of hope and community. Come, let us enter this space with our sorrows, our joys, our passion, and our compassion. Come, let us enter this space with the stories of our ancestors, for their strength and wisdom beats in our hearts. Come into this space present to the beloved companions who move beside us. Come into this space mindful that together we are building a future for other generations. Come into this space and let us worship. Please rise now in body or spirit as we sing hymn number 128, For All That Is Our Life.
And I wanted to say a quick something about this hymn. In the middle, it's got this part where you don't sing, and I can direct you when to come back in. And there's like a little instrumental in the, every time we go back, we have 4 verses. And it's kind of this part that happens. So I'll play that introduction and let's go for it.
Check. Oh, wow. This feels so much better. Okay. The 3 questions, based on a story by Leo Tolstoy, and it's written and illustrated by John Muth. Now, wisdom stories are a time where we use our imaginations a little bit. From time to time, I'll show you an image, but I want you to imagine what's going on here. There was once a boy named Nikolai, who sometimes felt uncertain about the right way to act. "I want to be a good person," he told his friends, "but I don't always know the best way to do that." Nikolai's friends understood, and they wanted to help him. "If only I could find the answers to my 3 questions," Nikolai continued, "then I would always know what to do. When is the best time to do things? Who is the most important one? And what is the right thing to do?" Well, Nikolai's friends considered his first question. Then Sonia the heron spoke. Well, do you know what a heron is?
Yeah.
What is it? Big tall bird, and it's got a big long beak. Yeah. So then Sonia the heron spoke. To know the best time to do things, one must plan in advance," she said. Gogol, the monkey, who had been rooting through some leaves to find something good to eat, said, "You will know when to do things if you watch and pay close attention." And then Pushkin, the dog, who was just dozing off, rolled over and said, "You can pay attention to everything. You can't pay attention to everything yourself. You need a pack to keep watch and help you decide when to do things. For example, Gogol, a coconut is about to fall on your head." So here's the coconut. It's rapidly falling. So we got Pushkin got some help for Nikolai.
We do not want no brain damage.
We do not. And there's an update to what happens with Gogol, the monkey friend. So Nikolai thought for a moment, and then he asked his second question. "Who is the most important one?" "Well, those who are closest to heaven," said Sonia, circling up into the sky.
Dad, my dog, always wants to bark at other dogs.
Your dog wants to bark at other dogs? Your dog wants to be a pack, just like Pushkin, see? So that's the way they communicate, and they be a pack together. So we're gonna hear more from Pushkin. So those who are closest to heaven, said Sonia, circling up into the sky. Those who know how to heal the sick, said Gogol, stroking his bruised noggin. So he got knocked in the head a little bit, but he's gonna be fine. Everybody, it's okay. Pushkin says, those who make the rules. Who is the most important one? Those who make the rules. Do these seem like good answers? We'll see. We'll see about whether these are good answers. Nikolai thought some more. Then he asked the third question. What is the right thing to do? "Flying," said Sonia. "Having fun all the time," laughed Gogol. "Fighting," barked Pushkin right away. Oh, man. Well, we're going to find out that Nikolai has to make some other choices. Then the boy thought for a long while. He loved his friends. He knew they were all trying their best to help him answer his questions, but their answers didn't seem quite right, like fighting maybe. Then an idea came to him. "I know," he thought. "I will ask Leo, the turtle. He has lived a very long time. Surely he will know the answers that I'm looking for." Well, Nikolai hiked high up into the mountains where the old turtle lived all alone. When Nikolai arrived, he found Leo, the old turtle, digging a garden. The turtle was old and digging was hard for him. "I have 3 questions and I came to ask for your help," Nikolai said. "When is the best time to do things? Who is the most important one? And what is the right thing to do?" Leo listened carefully, but he only smiled. Then he went on his digging. "You must be tired," Nikolai said at last. "Let me help you." The turtle gave him his shovel and thanked him. And because it was easier for a young boy to dig than it was for an old turtle, Nikolai kept on digging until all the rows were finished. But just as he finished, the wind blew wildly and rain burst from darkened clouds. As they moved toward the cottage for shelter, Nikolai suddenly heard a cry for help. Well, running down the path, he found a panda whose leg had been injured by a fallen tree. So here's our panda. So you can see that she's lying down because she hurt her leg. So we're gonna see what happens to the panda. Carefully, Nikolai carried her into Leo's house and made a splint for her leg with a stick of bamboo. The storm raged on, banging at the doors and windows. The panda woke up. "Where am I?" she said, "and where is my child?" Well, the boy ran out of the cottage and down the path. The roar of the storm was deafening. Pushing against the howling wind and drenching rain, he ran further into the forest. There he found the panda's child, cold and shivering on the ground. So we have a little panda here.
Let me see.
Oh, yeah?
I see him
You see the little panda?
underneath all those fountains.
That's exactly right, and Nikolai is on the way to help. You see it too? Good, okay. Well, the little panda was wet and scared, but alive. Nikolai carried her inside and made her warm and dry. Then he laid her in her mother's arms. Leo smiled when he saw what the boy had done. The next morning, the sun was warm, birds sang, and all was well with the world. The panda's leg was healing nicely, and she thanked Nikolai for saving her and the baby from the storm. At that moment, Sonia, Gogol, and Pushkin arrived to make sure everyone was all right. Nikolai felt great peace within himself. He had wonderful friends, and he had saved the panda and her child, but he also felt disappointed. He still had not found the answers to his 3 questions. So he asked Leo one more time. The old turtle looked at the boy. "But your questions have been answered," he said. "They have?" asked the boy. "Yesterday, if you had not stayed to help me dig my garden, you wouldn't have heard the panda's cries for help in the storm. Therefore, the most important time was the time you spent digging the garden. The most important one at the moment was me, and the most important thing to do was to help me with my garden. Later, when you found the injured panda, the most important time was the time you spent mending her leg and saving her child. The most important ones were the panda and her baby, and the most important thing to do was to take care of them and make them safe. Remember, there's only one important time, and that time is now. The most important one is always the one you are with, and the most important thing to do for one who is standing, the most important thing to do for one who is standing at your side. For these, my dear boy, these answers are the most important in the world. This is why we are here." And they all go off together. Thank you so much for spending some wisdom time with me. Now, let's sing our children and youth to their faith formation adventures. Especially if you're new or visiting and sending your kids to faith formation classes, you may go with them so that you find out where to pick them up. Thank you. As you go. Thank you for hanging in there with me with the wisdom time. Let's prepare ourselves a bit for prayer and meditation on wisdom. Take a moment to settle in your seats, wherever you are, and center yourselves a bit. Maybe take a breath and let it out. Take a deep breath and let it out. Maybe close your eyes and soften your gaze. The words of our prayer are by Ryan Urey. Father's Day is an important time to check in with the complex feelings this day may evoke. The ideal of the wise, patient, loving, all-knowing provider was never more than a useful television trope. At its best, this ideal gives people a positive role in the childbearing to aspire to, but at its worst, it casts patriarchy in a benevolent light as the natural order of things. And it also creates an impossible standard for the new fathers to live up to that denies the messy, frustrating realities and constant failings that are part and parcel of parenthood. Sometimes it feels like Father's Day is more about enshrining a myth than it is about facing the realities of fatherhood that often fall so short. For some of us, the story of fatherhood is about love, acceptance, and guidance, but for others, it's a story of rejection, abuse, shame, or abandonment. For some, it is a story of nurturance, but for others, it is marked by frustration and resentment. A story of burdens and unrealized dreams. For some, fatherhood is the longing for children unborn or lost to death and estrangement. Many of us have no father story at all. Whatever your story and your feelings about having or not having, being or not being a father, we honor your unique experience today. And I invite you to let your experience be what it is without measuring it against false ideals. While your Father's Day may be anything but a celebration, the force of the idea of father affects us all in one way or another. Let us take a moment to go inward and experience the thoughts and feelings we have around the concept of father. If what you're feeling is love, then I invite you to bask in the warmth and let it fill you. If what you're feeling is pain or rage, then hold it gently and listen as it wails its lament. If what you feel is sorrow, let yourself be slowly rocked by its waves. And if what you experience is the longing of a child abandoned, then cradle that inner child and offer it the unconditional acceptance and love it yearns to be. Blessed be. Now is the time for us to acknowledge our joys and sorrows with a ritual of water, the first medicine, and rocks, who remember all the way back to creation. For all that grieves our hearts, we add salt to brine the water in these vessels. For all that brings our hearts joy or celebration, we scatter flower petals to symbolize our joys and sense of gratitude. And now we'll use our two-bowl protocol here for moving little Mobius strips. Start at the outside and move on in. And remember that it's okay to slip by somebody to get back to your seat. And those of you who are waiting to deliver your joy or sorrow, just slide over to the side and we'll see if we can get all of this to work in a lovely way. Joys and sorrows, everybody. If you have shared a joy, know that we rejoice with you. If you have shared a sorrow, know that you are held in love and care by this community. We add these last rocks for all the joys and sorrows of our community, carried by those who are not present with us today. Our community is one community, gathered or apart.
I remember my father-in-law as a man of few words, but when he spoke, we listened. A long time ago in a land far away, when my husband and I were in our early 20s and just starting out, my husband's car, a 1993 Mercury Topaz, drove its last mile and died. May it rest in pieces. My husband and I were technically independent. We lived far away from either of our families. We had just bought a little starter house in the suburbs of Richmond, Virginia, and we were both working okay jobs, but the added expense of a new car loan would have been really hard. When John's car died, a family member promised to gift him a replacement, one that had been sitting unused in a driveway for many years. But ultimately, that promise fell through. This was the catalyst of my favorite memory of my father-in-law. When my father-in-law found out that my husband would no longer be receiving this car, he took it upon himself to change the situation. He found a new car for my husband. There were several phone calls back and forth about this, and I had the honor of taking one of them in particular. And in that phone call, of course, I thanked him profusely for his kindness and thoughtfulness of doing this for us. And in that conversation, I thought I would ask him, why did you decide to do this, such a generous gift? My father-in-law was not a wealthy man by any means. He was not known for giving big, generous gifts like a car. This was a big deal. His answer will live in family lore. He simply stated, "It bothered me. I fixed it." It bothered me. I fixed it. In the many years since that conversation took place, my husband and I have remembered and invoked those sacred words many times. Hey, Erin, why are you putting all these resources into making your 1970s split-level house more energy efficient and sustainable long-term? It bothers us. We are fixing it. Erin, why are you attending all these protests and writing your congresspeople and all of that? It bothers me. I'm fixing it. Erin, why are you so focused on raising your children to be socially, morally, ethically responsible men? It bothers us. We're fixing it. I knew nothing of my father-in-law's personal spiritual beliefs, and he was in no way an outwardly religious man. But in that moment, he was a Unitarian Universalist. Hey, beloved congregation, why do we split our community plate this month with beloved Ashfield, who is doing heroic work to better serve the lives of those with the greatest needs in our community? All right, can you say it with me now? It bothers us. We are fixing it. Yes. Okay. Let's keep going. Why do we change the words of so many of our hymns and songs to be more spiritually, gender and culturally inclusive, all right? It bothers us. We are fixing it. Why do we show up time and time again in times of struggle and great need to love and support one another and the greater community? It bothers us. We are fixing it. This is the unintended legacy of John Russell Shadle, Jr. May his memory be a blessing. Thank you. And now for a musical reflection.
This flickering candle illuminate the night the way your spirit illuminates my soul. Papa, can you hear me? Papa, didn't you see me? Papa, can you find me in the night? Papa, are you near me? Papa, can you hear me? Papa, can you help me not be frightened? Looking at the skies, I seem to see a million eyes. Which ones are yours? has waved goodbye and closed its doors. The night is so much darker, the wind is so much colder, the world is so much bigger now that I'm alone. Papa, please forgive me. Try to understand me. Papa, don't you know I had no choice? Can you hear me praying anything I'm saying, even though the night is filled with voices? I remember everything you taught me, every book I've ever read. Can all the words in all the books help me to face what lies ahead? The trees are so much taller, and I feel so much smaller. The moon is twice as lonely, and the stars are half as bright. Papa, how I love you. Papa, how I need you. Papa, how I miss you. Kissing me good night.
Good morning, beloved community, here in the sanctuary at UU Asheville and wherever you are online. It's a blessing to be together with you. The focus of our service today is the mythology of our fathers. Right here at the beginning, I want to acknowledge that there are many kinds of fathers, and we have many kinds of relationships with them. A father could be a biologically related person, someone who functions like a father for us, like an adoptive father. Historical figures like the so-called founding fathers. A spiritual father or guide. Or a divine father like Odin, the All-Father. For some of us, our mother might be our father, or our father might be a mother. Whatever the case may be, I think I'm in pretty solid ground in saying that our relationships with our father figures are complex. Because our relationships with our father figures are complex, I thought it might be a good idea to narrow down our scope a bit this morning to reflect on an aspect of our relationships with them. Specifically, I'd like to address the mythologies of our fathers. One thing fathers tend to do, whether intentionally or simply by being a father to us, is to provide us with mythology, stories, sometimes quite fantastic stories, laden with values, elements of a worldview, advice, or some sort of an instruction on how to live. The mythologies of our fathers shape and define our world, guide us, and help us to discern how we ought to live. Remember the sermon from last week's service? Our ethics is our guide for how we ought to live. Whether we choose to live them or not, our fathers' mythologies are infused with ethics and visions for how to live well, visions of wisdom. One of the things I cherish about our beloved community is we're serious about our wisdom. I also dig that we critically examine our inherited and acquired wisdom, our visions for what it means to live well. Our fathers, in their various forms, are a rich source of mythology. We may love the mythology of our fathers, or hate it, or take it with a grain of salt, or laugh about it, or cry about it. We may protest against it, or protest with it. I have a vague recollection of thinking about mythology as mythology in 6th or 7th grade. I think there were short selections from the Iliad and the Odyssey in an English class I was in. At the time, I think I grasped that the stories I was reading were epic in scope, really important for some reason, probably didn't happen in real life, and there were lessons to be learned from them. There were heroes and villains, impossible tasks achieved, the banal every day alongside the miraculous eruption of the divine, poetic language, and some wonderfully questionable behavior. I loved it. At that time, I also discovered Dungeons and Dragons, a remarkably rich source of mythology that had a profound influence on who I am today. D&D allowed me to imagine in rich and enduring ways what's possible by briefly imagining and living in the impossible. Later in life, D&D influenced my years of academic study of philosophy, especially the thought of Jacques Derrida and his notion of the impossible possibility. The idea that what's really possible may be only limited by what we can imagine. In retrospect, I think my dad unwittingly prepared me for Greek mythology, the imaginative power of D&D, and the study of philosophy. He had a dramatic influence on my later life by priming me with Earl Nightingale's landmark personal development audio tapes. We would sit in the car after my soccer practice or a game and listen to Nightingale's 1956 spoken word classic, The Strangest Secret. Nightingale famously said, "The only man who succeeds is the man who is progressively realizing a worthy ideal." Of course, today we critique Nightingale's gendered language, but his aphorism, echoed by my father repeatedly over the years, thereby mythologizing it, has real merit. The only person who succeeds is the one who is progressively realizing a worthy ideal. As a child, I learned that success is defined by progressively realizing a worthy ideal. Because my father was thorough, I also learned what constitutes a worthy ideal. Today, my dad and I may disagree about what a worthy ideal looks like, but I know that progressively realizing a worthy ideal has led me to my kind of success. And now it's time for a commercial break brought to you by the Unitarian Universalist Association. Are you a Unitarian Universalist or thinking about being one? Do you want more out of life? Are late-stage capitalism and ideologies of empire leaving you feeling malnourished in your mythology? Our UUA bylaws and rules have what you need. Try inspiration. Direct experiences of transcending mystery and wonder are primary sources of Unitarian Universalist inspiration. These experiences open our hearts, renew our spirits, and transform our lives. We draw upon and are inspired by sacred, secular, and scientific understandings that help us make meaning and live into our values. These sources ground and sustain us in ordinary, difficult, and joyous times. We respect the histories, contexts, and cultures in which these sources were created and are currently practiced. Grateful for the experiences that move us, aware of the religious ancestries we inherit, and enlivened by the diversity which enshrines our faith, we are called upon to ever deepen and expand our wisdom. Side effects of inspiration may include excessive joy, misperception of walking on clouds, jealous friends of neighbors, domination of dinner parties, and an inexplicable hunger for organizational rules and bylaws. And now, back to our regularly scheduled UU Asheville programming. One of my elders, Bunseki Fukiao, a Congolese medicine person, taught me a way to evaluate the usefulness of the myths of our fathers. He called it the 3 R's: receive, retain, release. Receive, retain, release. Receive the myth, the specific details of it. Pay close attention to what it tells you about how to live well. Retain the myth. Live with it, test it, experiment with it, and evaluate it. What can you learn from the myth, either from its genuine wisdom or its inappropriateness for you? Release the myth. Live according to what you've learned. Manifest that wisdom in your choices. Make it a part of your own mythology. If the wisdom is genuine, pass it on to others. Release it. Share the gift of your wise myth. If, on the other hand, if you retained the myth and found it lacking, if it didn't offer good guidance for living well, then release it. Let it go. Don't repeat it. Don't reproduce that mythology in your life. Don't reproduce that mythology in your choices. Let the myth die. You may even find that a false myth requires you to oppose it, protest against it, or actively resist its misguided claim to wisdom. Receive, retain, release. Our wisdom story today, which went a little long, our mythic narrative is a rich source of good guidance for our beloved community. At the end of the myth, the wise turtle says, "Remember then that there is only one important time, and that time is now. The most important one is the one you are with. And the most important thing is to do good for the one who is standing at your side. For these, my dear boy, are the answers to what is most important in this world. This is why we are here." Nikolai learned a wise lesson that Erin beautifully released in her reflection on the mythology of her father-in-law earlier. It bothered me. I fixed it. It bothered me. I fixed it. Nikolai was bothered by how to be a good person. We can all relate to Nikolai, can't we? We want to be good people, and sometimes we just don't know how to do that. The mythologies of our fathers can help us. Sometimes the mythologies of our fathers help us, sometimes painfully, by reminding us that we are responsible for our own wisdom. Ultimately, Nikolai had to receive, retain, and release his own wisdom, which was different from his friends' visions for living well. Pushkin wanted to fight all the time. The wise old turtle helped Nikolai, yes, but Nikolai's wisdom ultimately was his own. Remember Earl Nightingale? Nightingale has most definitely contributed to my vision for living well. Then again, there's a whole lot about Nightingale's philosophy that I thoroughly reject. In my years of receive, retain, and release with Nightingale's mythology, I've had to unlearn a whole host of individualistic, patriarchal, capitalist, Napoleon Hill think and grow rich ideology. Friends, we are responsible for our own wisdom. Sometimes the myths of our fathers are both wise and horrific. William Ellery Channing, one of our most prominent Unitarian Universalist theologians, a founding father of our religious movement, ironically advocated for abolitionism on racist grounds. And what are the dubious mythologies of the founding fathers of the United States so present on the lips of our country's robber barons and politicians? Our shared Unitarian Universalist values simply demand that such myths be radically re-mythologized or completely rejected for the good. You see what I'm saying? Receive, retain, release. In conclusion, the mythologies of our fathers shape and define our world, guide us, and help us to discern how we ought to live. Our fathers are not without fault, but we ought to learn from the myths that they pass on to us. I humorously referred earlier to the inspirations section of our UUA bylaws as an advertisement because I'm buying what they're selling. Visions for living well in the form of mythologies from the world's wisdom traditions. We can transform ourselves for the good with their guidance. Being wise is not easy. It is a constant process. Again, the values of our beloved community remind us of this fact. And I'm quoting, transformation. We adapt to the changing world. We covenant to collectively transform and grow spiritually and ethically. Openness to change is fundamental to our Unitarian and Universalist heritages, never complete and never perfect. Today, let's celebrate how our fathers inspire us to be and do good. Let's celebrate the richness of the complexity of our fathers and their mythologies. May it be so. Please rise now as we sing hymn number 123, Spirit of Life.
And now we turn to the work of the congregation. We'd like to take a moment to recognize any guests or visitors we have among us. If you would like to be honored, please stand, and an usher will bring a microphone around to you. If you could please tell us your name and where you're visiting from.
I'm Nancy, and I'm visiting from Framingham, Massachusetts, UU. So this is really cool. This is my first time in a different UU, and I had to go to another state to do it, apparently. Which is kind of crazy. Thank you.
Hi, good morning, everyone. My name is Francisco, also known as Paco. I'm honored and delighted to be here. Beautiful, one of the most beautiful churches I've ever been. I'm not a member. I was brought up Catholic, but I'm welcome and open to everything. I pray for you and your community every single day since Helene hit, and your community is amazing. Your love is transcended. My sister has type 2 diabetes. She was hit in Swannanoa, no electricity. She has diabetes. I didn't hear about her. We're very, very close. I reached out. Ham radio operator, he communicated with emergency here in New Hampshire, in North Carolina. I reached out on Facebook, and there was this beautiful young lady, drove her car as far as she could, rode her bike, went to my sister's house. She didn't find her. We were all terrified. She went back again and finally found her. Your community is amazing, amazing. I pray for you every day, and it's come full circle. Your love is just beautiful. Thank you. I'm honored to be here.
Hi, Grayson, recovering catholic, Irish, beaten, abused. From Connecticut, now I say Cut I Connect, but Paul Newman was in Westport and spoke out against the war, JFK, MLK, RFK assassinations, and then I Vero Beach, Florida, and now I'm in Santa Fe, New Mexico at the UU there.
Welcome.
Anyone else? Going once? Going twice? All right, well, welcome. We're glad you're here. Please join us across the hall in Sandberg Hall after the service for coffee and conversation, where you'll also find a welcome table. Let's all wave to Trevor. Hi, Trevor. Trevor is our connections coordinator, so he is the go-to person for all questions about who we are, what we do, and how to join us. Our announcements run as slides at the beginning of the service. If you missed them, please refer to Thursday's weekly e-news, as everything is described there. I'd like to highlight one announcement in particular from the Justice Ministry Council. The North Carolina Justice Center will be holding a vigil to oppose the budget reconciliation bill that would rip health care, SNAP benefits, and other essential services from the North Carolinians who need them most. The vigil will be in front of Senator Budd's office here in Asheville on Tuesday at 6 p.m. The theme is Our Health Over Corporate Wealth. For more details, please see the Justice Ministry Council table at coffee hour. Our community plate recipient this month is Beloved Asheville. Our offering this morning will be split with our partner unless you intend your gift to be applied to your pledge, in which case, please use the envelope in the pew in front of you. You may also donate online. The work and ministries of this congregation are entirely supported by the generosity of our members and friends. We celebrate your generosity each Sunday with music and thanks. You make us possible, and we give thanks for you. The offering will now be greatly received. For the gifts of your presence, time, wisdom, and resources, we are grateful.
It's not time to make a change. Just relax, take it easy. You're still young, that's your fault. There's so much you have to know. Find a person, settle down. If you want, you can marry. Look at me, I am old, but I'm happy. I was once like you are now, and I know that it's not easy to become when you found something going on. Take your time, think a lot, think of everything you've got, for you'll still be here tomorrow, but your dreams may not. How can I try to explain? When I do, he turns away again. It's always been the same old story. From the moment I could talk, I was ordered to listen. Now there's a way, and I know that I have to go away. I know I have to go. I know I have to go.
Now it is time for our benediction, for our good words, for going forth. And I'm going to stick with the dedication of merit that I've been using. At the end, you'll hear me say, we remain in the state of presence, and we're going to do a big ah. We're going to send off that merit so that everybody has access to the goodness of what we've done here today. And at the end, we give it just a little extra push with a big clap. So hopefully I can be with you in that. May the benefit of this act and all acts be dedicated unto the complete liberation and supreme enlightenment of all beings everywhere, pervading space and time. So mote it be. May the benefits of practice, ours and others, come to fruition ultimately and immediately, and we remain in the state of presence. Thank you so much. Please rise now and body your spirit as we share our special UU Asheville closing song, after which you are invited to share time with us in Sandberg Hall.